What's up, guys? It's me, Drew, aka the Green Arrow, and this is my review on The Flash. So basically, what happened in this episode was pretty interesting. We see at the end of the last episode that Barry actually disappeared, and he basically disintegrated, and he was gone. And at this point, you think to yourself, what has just happened? Have they just killed him, or has something else just happened? And you find out that he was actually trapped in the Speed Force. So basically, the whole episode revolved around Barry getting his speed back and escaping the Speed Force. But whilst on Earth 1, there was another problem going on, and that problem was the result of them doing the particle accelerator and bringing back a character from season 1 who basically he was after Iris and he was there to kill her and everything else, and that's how that basically ended up in killing him and sticking him in the morgue. And because of the particle accelerator, it regenerated his brain and brought him back to life. And he basically wanted to do the last thing that was on his mind, and that was basically kill Iris. So the whole episode revolved around basically Barry trying to get his speed and Iris and them not being killed, and Barry getting back in time to save them if he could get back in time to save them. So in the episode, you see Barry and he meets a guy who looks like Joe. And this guy is not Joe. He's telling him basically that you can go whenever you want, but you're going right speed, you know? Until you catch that thing out there, you ain't going nowhere. So you think to yourself, okay, what's going on here? Like, he's obviously got to get something, because you see this shadowy thing running around, and at the time you're thinking, yeah, is this Zoom or whatever? But something said to me that this could be his way of getting his speed back. This could be him. So what ends up in happening is he goes off and he tries to like catch this thing, and on his way he bumps into different people. So the second person he bumps into is Iris, and she's there and she's talking to him and she's telling him basically you can go whenever you want. Like, we're not holding you here. Like, if you don't want to be here, if you don't want to be here, you can go. But if you go, you're going without your speed. So it's really down to you. Like, we're not here to like harm you in any way. We're here to like guide you. So you then see Cisco vibing, and he vibes Barry, and he sees him, and he tries to like basically save him, pull him through back to Earth. And it's like Iris said to him, you can go or you can go get your speed, because that's what it boiled down to. You left right your speed. If you catch the thing, you get your speed back. So Barry obviously turned his back on Cisco and went on his journey. The next person he kind of bumps into is Henry Allen, and Henry's in the cemetery. Barry goes to visit his mum, and there's a conversation about basically Barry's never been to his mum's grave because he's never been able to. He's never been able to emotionally sit there or stand at her grave and, you know, feel the emotions that he wants to and say the things that he wants to say. He couldn't bring himself to it, so he's never done it. So you get to see Barry open up to his dad, yeah, and tell him, listen, like, you blame yourself and you shouldn't blame yourself, you know. Yeah, you had the opportunity to save her, but would your mum want you killing yourself to save her when she's already dead? Like, it doesn't make sense. So they had that conversation. It was really nice. They had that little father-son conversation. And then he goes on and he goes off chasing this blur. And, you know, obviously he's got not got his speed, so he's like a normal person. And you kind of figure it's his old family house. And then the last person he gets introduced to is his mum. And he goes in and they have this conversation, and Barry knows it's not his mum, and he's basically there, and she's reading a book, and it's about dinosaurs, because the title of it is called The Lost Dinosaur, or something like that. And she's there, she's reading a book to him, what she said he really enjoyed as a kid, and he was there and he was reading it basically back to her, and with doing so he realised exactly what he had to do, because she said it as well. Like, they've all said it. We're not here to harm you. We're not here to like keep you here. If you want to go, you can go. But like, you've got to know exactly what you want to do. And with that, after the story's been read to each other, you see it's Blur just dash through the door, and it's just like, poof, and you see Barry put out his arm. He's put out his arm, and he's got him, and like, he just like slowly opens his eyes, and he could see it's him. Like, he could see it was himself. And with that, Barry gets his speed back, and Iris then becomes his lightning rod, because there's this little discussion before who's going to go and get him. Henry says that he wants to go get him because obviously it's his son, but everyone knows that he's more attached to Iris, so Iris said, no, I'm going, and she brings him back just in the nick of time, because as they come back through, the guy's looking to smash through the door and make everybody's heads into like pizza or something and smash them. But Barry being Barry does his thing and takes the guy down. And, you know, it was really good to see that Barry came back and he's changed. He's not like the same Barry. You can see he's something really different about Barry. There's this little scene where Barry's talking to Iris, and they're at the gravesite of his mum, and he said, listen, like, I don't know where me and you were going to be, I don't know what's going to happen between us, but I'm not the same person, and like, if there's going to be an us, I think we should at least give it a try. So I'm just hoping it's not going to go Felicity Oliver and go all stupid and dragged out through seasons and all that malarkey. But you did get glimpses of you get glimpses of the Flash in Jesse, because obviously, like Barry was unconscious for a certain amount of time before coming around, and there was that spark when he touched Iris. No, not when he touched Iris, when Iris touched him. There was a spark, and in that spark, she knew that he was the Flash. And in this episode, Barry goes over to her, to Jessie, and he kind of like rubs his hand across hers, and there's like this electrical charge, and she comes around. Wally, on the other hand, comes around pretty quickly. Like, he pretty much, he's up on his feet, and he's like kind of gone home kind of thing, but he's showing no signs of being Kid Flash at the moment, you know. He's just normal. He don't see any change in him. But Jessie, you see that little electrical charge between her and Barry, and that's what I think gonna give them the jump start, because that's the Speed Force. You know, Harrison Wells pointed it out that it was the Speed Force that done it, because everyone asked Barry, how did you know how to do that? And he said, I didn't, I just felt it. And with that, Harrison Wells turned around and said, yeah, it was the Speed Force. So now I'm hoping to see Jesse Quick and Wally West getting their speed on and zipping around Central City and basically doing the great things that the Flash is doing. But obviously, we don't want the Flash just to be kicked to the side and just leave these two. You know, we all know that at some point, Barry Allen's going to end up in most probably dying. But we don't want him being overshone at the moment and like them two like overtaking him. That shouldn't happen. So for now, I'm hoping that the next episode, because the next episode is going to be closer and closer to our season finale, guys. I'm hoping we're going to get to see, obviously, the guy in the Iron Mask, who I believe is, you know, I'm going to stand tall. I think it's Jay Garrett's dad. I think he's kept him there to show him that he's the guy with all the power and he's got no power. But I do think there's going to be a Jay Garrett. Guys, I've done a prediction video, which I'm going to upload as well. And you guys can see who I think the guy in the Iron Mask is going to be and what I actually think is going to happen at the end of the season finale. So I'll upload that so you guys can watch that as well. But that's all I've got for you for now, guys. Like, if you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up, guys. If you don't, give me that thumbs down, guys. If you want to stick a comment, guys, in that comment section down below, that'd be great. That's going to help me improve my channel and give you guys the content that you actually want and enjoy. If you want to be a negative Nancy, guys, that's also cool too. You can stick that comment in that comment section down below. And yeah, I'll get back to you at some point too. But like I said, guys, I'm Drew. I'm AKA the Green Arrow. Straight shooting people.